this is John Kohler from DiscountJuicers.com, and today I have a very special treat. I love when I get a brand new juicer in, and I just got the brand new juicer. You may have saw my other videos that I made on the Green Star Elite, one at the trade show back in March when they wouldn't let me film it. Actually, they cut me off. Then lastly, maybe about a couple weeks ago, I was actually at another trade show where I actually did a demo with it. Now I have my own unit to test and to show you what exactly comes with the Green Star Elite GSE-5000 juicer. So let's go ahead and open the box and let's take it all apart and see. So inside the box you get this main piece here. You get all these parts. You get basically an instruction manual including your 5-year warranty on the Green Star Elite juicer. You have a basically detachable cord for the power, and that's very nice. So a lot of juicers have the cord always hanging out. This you can detach it and store it away nicely. You basically have a nice, fine, good quality stainless steel strainer to strain your juice further if you don't like pulp in your juice. You have 2 pushers. So you have a wooden pusher, which is basically a food grade wood, hardwood for pushing the produce in. Then you get a plastic plunger. I do prefer only ever using the wooden plunger because if you don't pay attention, you put the plunger in the incorrect way and they have an arrow on this to denote the correct way you're supposed to put it in. It will grate away the plastic into your juice. So I always recommend using the wood. If some of the wood does happen to get worn off into the gears, it just basically goes through and gets ejected with the pulp. The next thing you get is actually you get not 1, but 2 cleaning brushes. So that's really nice. These cleaning brushes are totally set up. There's a edges on this cleaning brush. This is very useful for cleaning the screen. And this brush has 2 sides, like an oversized toothbrush. Really nice cleaning brush, and you have another cleaning brush too. Next part you get is a cover, so this goes over the top, so when you're not using the juicer, you can store the juicer with this on the top so no dust or anything will get into the juicer while it's in storage. You get a nice drip tray, so the drip tray goes underneath the juicer so that any drips won't get on your countertop. You could use this if you like. I don't think the juicer drips that much, and I prefer not to have to clean an extra piece afterwards, so I don't personally use it. The next piece you get is basically a homogenizing blank, and this is the blank, so it's an open blank on the bottom and closed on the top, so it goes in this direction with the openness on the bottom. You get a breadstick maker with a breadstick end cap. And then with this, this is the closed blank, everything goes through. I prefer to use this on everything actually. And then you get a coarse screen. So the coarse screen is the accessory piece inside the juicer as it comes. I'll pull it out in a minute. You'll see the fine hole screen. Now the coarse screen is used for, if you like more pulp in the juicer, if you're juicing a lot of fruits where, fruits kind of need bigger holes to get the juice out to be more efficient. So that's actually what comes with the juicer. And let me see what else you get with the juicer is, we'll pull out the main guy here. The Jumbo Twin Gear Green Star Elite juicer here. And then also in the box you get actually not a plastic but a nice glass juice collection bowl. This juicer is very easy to assemble and disassemble. The first step is you just take the whole body housing off. You just literally pull it straight up and it will come right off, and that's this piece right here. The next part is you're going to basically take these 2 clips. Here's one clip here. You literally clip it here, clip that, the hinges come apart, and you can pull the housing off. And this is the main front housing. It has a pulp ejection knob, or outlet adjusting knob is what they call it. Now it has a spring on there. What the spring does, it keeps tension in on the pulp before the pulp comes out of the machine, and it only allows the pulp to come out if it's dry. If it's still wet, it will not allow the pulp to come out. They do have an optional attachment called the soft fruit or the fruit adjustment knob, which actually has a softer spring tension, but the same thing can be done if you're really careful, and you can basically just not screw this in all the way and leave it, a little bit open. It'll have the same effect. So I don't really like the fruit attachment knob. I think it's a gimmick, but if you like it, you can get it. The next part that you have is the fine hole screen. So this is the screen that comes assembled inside the juicer. It has small holes, and this is what you're going to want to use for most vegetable juicing. The next piece that comes out is the twin gears. Now I do want to take a minute to explain these twin gears. This is the world's first 3-stage twin gear juicer. So the first stage is, let me point these out, is this first stage right here, the metal that basically literally crushes all the juice. And then the second stage is the mixing point. part, and you can see the difference between this part and this part. It's the mixing part, so that just basically mixes it all together. And then you basically have the pressing stage. The pressing stage is this last section where it literally presses the juice before it gets expelled as pulp. The last part is this housing here that comes on. I do want to point out it has a nice O-ring. One of the problems with the old twin gear juicer was that it would get a lot of juice would seep around over here. This should hopefully solve that challenge. So we want to assemble. It's very easy. You're going to take this housing and put it on. There's a hole in the top and it lines up with the hole right here. Put that on. The next thing is the gears. And if you don't remember anything else I said during this whole talk is you want to always line up your gears. So you can see there's 2 dots on this gear and 1 dot on that gear. And you want to line them up like that so they make a triangle. So 2 dots and 1 dot. That is correct. This is not correct. You never want to put your gears so they're not lined up. You always want to make sure your gears are lined up. This is very important. Once you get your gears lined up, you're going to want to insert them into the machine. And you're going to insert them and sometimes they won't exactly go in on seat all the way. So you might have to turn it a little bit while you're pushing it in to make sure it's all the way in. The next thing you want to do is you're going to take your screen, put that on here. You're going to take your housing, put that down here, clamp the clamps back, put the top on, and I like to use the wooden pusher there. You always want to have a catch pulp bin, so we're going to use a plastic catch pulp bin here. And so let's start to juice with the juicer. So it's very simple. You want to turn it on, and you're going to take, and we're going to juice a carrot first. You literally just put the carrot in, then you're going to have to push the carrot in, use some force to push it in, and never stick your fingers in the machine, so then you're going to push the carrot in with the pusher. Now it does take some force to push the carrot into the twin gears, and you can see we're getting some juice now, and the pulp's coming out. So if you have something like arthritis or aren't good at pushing, then maybe this is not the juicer you should get. This juicer does make a really good yield on things, especially like carrot juice. I recommend always juicing organic carrots. You can see this pulp is pretty dry. And the nice thing about this juicer that you could do, is you could take this pulp literally and put it back into the machine. If you feel that you want to get a little bit more out of the pulp, a lot of times, not a lot of extra juice is going to come out of that pulp because the pulps are really dry. But if you desire to do that, you can and get a higher yield actually. Alright, so I think we're done juicing. Now let's show you how easy this juicer is to clean. Take our handy dandy brush and literally disassemble the juicer. So we're taking off the top piece here. We're going to scrub basically the top piece and rinse this out pretty good. Set it on the drain rack. We're going to pop these snaps off and pull the end housing out, and literally just run water through there. We're gonna unscrew the outlet adjusting knob, and maybe take a brush and brush that off. I usually like to wash everything after each use. Right afterwards, if you let things sit around, and especially the carotenoids and the carrot, they'll sit on the juicer and they'll stain the plastic. So it's always good to wash your juicer right after you're done. The next part to clean is the gears. So I like to clean 1 gear at a time. Literally you can see the pulp just melt off the gear as you run the water on it. And then maybe a little bit of brushing with a brush is all you need to get it clean. Set that on the drain rack there. Same thing with this. Literally the spray of the water dislodges all the pulp. The brushing is there just to touch it up. Really simple, real easy. Hardest part to clean is this screen here. So we're gonna, run the water onto the screen, and then we're gonna have to brush. Now it's really important to get all the carrot pulp and all the pulp out of the screen, because if you get residual carrot pulp in the screen, what's gonna happen is you're gonna reduce your yield over time because the holes will get clogged. So they have this nice little pick thing on the back. And you could use that to kind of like help pick and wipe all the carrot pulp that gets stuck in there, because this is the hardest part to clean. This will take the longest amount of time to clean. So let's go ahead and do that a little bit more. The nice part is this brush on the back. You basically shove it through there. makes it easier to clean out that screen, get all the pulp dislodged from the screen. I think we're almost done cleaning this screen here. And what I do like to do with the juicer is after every use, I will, clean it, and then maybe like once a week, maybe put it in the top shelf of the dishwasher. So once again, this can be a difficult part to clean, but with this handy brush, you literally just put the brush through and brush it. So we're done. So that's how easy it is to clean the Green Star Elite juicer and make one pitcher juice. Bon appetit to your health. Until next time, this is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com, and be sure to visit DiscountJuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for our YouTube visitors.